becomes almost a normalcy for them now.
Normalizing dysfunction.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes. It's like it becomes the norm for them. And one of the things I find, I can go back to myself and just realizing how many times, because I want to help somebody today, is we stay in a relationship, and sometimes because of our childhood and because of the way that we came up, we saw certain things, and watching those things and growing up, we do begin to think that that's the norm, that maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But just because you saw that growing up does not mean it was the right thing. It doesn't mean it's just something that maybe was happening in your household. It's what you grew up with as a child, but it doesn't mean it was the right thing. So I find that so often that you come to this place in your life.
Go ahead, Colette.
And she didn't think that anything else was a possibility for her. So she felt like she didn't deserve it, but also that can't never happen for me. Right? And so, and I could imagine that gentleman convincing her in that brainwashing process that, no, I am loving you. I'm doing you good, right? Everybody else is jealous of you. That's why they're talking about you, right? And giving her all this kind of talk. And then she begins to believe the lies. She begins to believe that this is a good situation. So what? He's married. So what? He has a whole nother family. He comes to see me every whatever the schedule was, because there had to be a schedule. It's the same reason why you have women, and I don't want to list the article because I didn't fact check it, but where someone was engaged to someone for 15 years, it passed away, and nothing, she can get nothing. I mean, she lived with this person. They denied her common law status. Yeah. Right? And so she could lie to herself, because there are women who lie to themselves, say, I don't want to get married.
That's right.
You're saying that because you don't think it's a possibility for you. And so you don't want to bring your expectations here. So you'll diminish it because this is good enough. Because if I put it here, then I can get hurt when it doesn't happen. If I raise my expectations and I open myself to get hurt. And so women need to know that, no, you deserve, and I want to break it down to real practical. No, you deserve someone that's going to call you every day, multiple times a day, going to text you throughout the day. You deserve someone that will take you out, that will show you around to everybody, that doesn't have another woman. You know, you deserve someone that will prioritize spending time with you. And that is a normal expectation. You are not being too much.
No.
Don't believe the lies that you're being too much. Oh, I do this for you. You should be happy for that. No, 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 no. You have to take a dog on a walk.
That's right. That's right. That was good.
I'm not a dog.
I like that. I like that.
I deserve more than the treatment you give to the little pet that you have, right?
Yes.
And so women need to, you have to know that you deserve it. And so if this lands on anybody's feed, just so that they know you deserve to be considered, for your feelings to be considered. And guess what? Your feelings are valid. So when you have that inkling on the inside, like, I wish I heard from him more, or I'm not talking about some jealous nonsense. We ain't talking about that. But, you know, I wish that, you know, we could spend more time together. Those are valid feelings. And if you express those things and they're never heard, they're never validated to say, you know what, I hear you, let's do something. If that's not happening, and you're being made to feel that a simple request for being prioritized is too much, I want you to know that it's not. And again, I'm not talking about, what was that song from back in the days? Someone sang a song that said, if it's gonna come back to me? I'm not your superwoman.
Yeah.
Song.
Yeah, I'm not your superwoman.
Yeah, and then when she said, remember the words of the song?
I'm not the kind of girl.
Yes, I'm not that kind of girl that you can let down. Think that everything is okay. Right? You gotta know that. Yes, you're human. Thank you so much. You're human. Humans have needs. Don't let anyone diminish your needs and make you feel, because listen, I've been there when somebody makes you feel like you're stupid or like you're requesting too much. No, you really think it's too much for someone to call you every day? That is not too much. Or it's too much for someone to check in. That's not asking for a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But some of us, especially those of us who, even if your parents weren't together, but if you had a relationship with your father, and for those of us who didn't have a relationship with our father, right? Because, and I didn't have a relationship with my father, but what does research say? That your father teaches the girls how they should be treated. He's the first man to dote on her, to love her unconditionally, without wanting sex, without wanting anything, without touching her any kind of way, and making her feel like she has to give something. And when you don't have that, right, now you just kind of figure, well, I take what I get. And this is enough? No, that's a lie. That's right. I'm done for now. Go ahead.
You know what? This is so good. I love it. I engage it. But you know what is so a lie? I mean, it's good. I'm not gonna sing, but I'm your superwoman. I remember that song. Hello, somebody. But listen, what is more even damaging, all right, is the promise that, oh, I'm going to leave her. I'm going to leave. We're going to get married. The promise that you are going to get married, and he knows deep down, not even deep down, he knows.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah, you know? They say the man knows real quick.
He knows that, you know, but it's a slip off the tongue. Oh, I love you. We're going to get married. Things are not going good.
Broken promises.
I'm just waiting for that time. When is that time? Listen, somebody, you know, the time is now. We are here. We're not telling you anything that is not, you know, that is not true. We're speaking truth, we're speaking life, we're speaking empowerment to you, that if you are in that type of relationship, no, you're single. Remember that you're single. And in order for you, like the one that said it so eloquently before, that then you want to get married, you know, Colette said it also, because you have something. How could God give you something? Okay. How could God give you something if you already have something in your hand? He cannot give you a mate, because guess what? You have something here already. Remove it, empty yourself, so that God can fill you up with that person, with that love that you deserve. We always say it on this show. We always say it. We say time and time again that you are valued. You are loved. You are worth it. You're worth much more than what it is that he's dishing out to you. We said a couple weeks ago, get to stepping. If you're not acting right, we said, Martin said, get to stepping. You know, hit the road. I'm not telling you to but pick yourself up. Get that, speak to somebody. Speak to someone. Even while you're in the dating phase, even before that, speak to someone about, get counseling, get coaching, get yourself together so that when that joker comes around, okay, okay, no, I don't want to be treated that way. I know who I am. I'm worth more than what you're giving to me. You know, something I'm valued. You're not going to speak to me with, with that kind of, disrespect. Because no, I'm valued. I'm good. I mean, I love God. I'm going forth. I'm doing what it is that I have to do. I'm well respected. I respect myself. I love myself enough. I love myself enough. And that's why we push self-love so much. Because when you get yourself in that place where you love yourself, meaning that you know who you are, you know what you want out of life, you're comfortable being by yourself. And the last time we were here, Whitney was talking about, she's a love coach, she was talking about the love inside of you that will be overflowing where somebody sees you and they want to be with you because the air about you, it's so free and it's so loving and you're so confident. We want you to get to that place. Now, everyone is not there, but we're here to help you to get to that place. Okay? We are here to help you to get to that place. And you said, okay, well, how am I supposed to leave him? What am I supposed to do? My rent's getting paid. My condo's getting paid. Oh, I got a ring. He gave me a ring. We talk about that promise ring, girl. We said, throw that thing out.
No promise rings.
We said get rid of the promise ring. Get rid of the promise ring. No. I thought about, something real quick. What I thought about when we were talking about, of course, we had talked about the promise ring too. But it also took me back to when they're not spending enough time with you. Something just like you have to. For me, I'm always about the red flag. I'm always about the signs. It's time for you to start checking some things. Because what happens is we sit down and we say, okay, it's just excuse after excuse after excuse. But if you say that you're saying them that they're number one, then they should sit in the position of number one, not number 2, 3, 4, and 5. They should stay in that position of number one. But how can they stay in number one if there is already a number one? They can't. You can't sit in that position because there's already somebody holding that seat. So you have to realize when there's excuses for why they can't call you more or why they can't spend more time, we have to realize that there may be other things going on. And maybe sometimes we figure, oh, I'm better if I don't know. No, you're better if you do know. See, let me tell you something. We sit here and we say, oh, no. And then what happens is in the event, do you know, this is what I try to explain this to people. Do you realize that if something happens to him, okay, and he is married, do you realize that his wife supersedes everything? I don't care if they have been separated for 10 years. If something happens to him, they want to know, is he legally married and where is she? Because she has to make a final decision. So in the event that something happens, and say, for instance, he ends up leaving here, okay, you have no closure. You don't get to go to a funeral. It's like you've been nothing. So because everything was so discreet. So it's like you never even existed in a place with a man who you fell in love with, who you thought one day you and him would get married. But it didn't happen like that. Instead, it went another way. So now you have no closure. And why? And now all these years have gone by and you just let it go by when you could have been doing something different. You could have been with somebody who really loved you for you. I'm all about that, being with somebody who cares for you, for you. If you want to be with me, trust me, they're going to make it happen. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. If you say you want something to drink, or you say you want some caramel popcorn or some chocolate covered ice cream, let me tell you something. If you love me like you said you do, you coming to bring me that caramel popcorn. Let me tell you something. It goes back real quick. The only reason why I can talk about this is because I can talk about it from my husband's point of view, because when we were dating, let me tell you something. He would meet me at the job. I wasn't even at the job. I'm coming off of the highway. And he is there. He done went to Dunkin' Donuts already. He said, I got you some coffee and I got you some donuts. I know you on your way to the job. He was beating me off the highway. He's waiting to give it to me, and so that he could run back to his job on time. So when they love you, that's what they do. And I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my God. He's like, where are you at? I said, I'm coming off of 78. He said, meet me on X, Y, and Z, I think off of Bergen Street. He said, meet me here. He was already waiting for me to give me my coffee and stuff so I could keep going. You know what I'm saying? Or either he was just dropping to the job, run in and run out. So if they love you, let me tell you something, it's going to be nothing for them. They'll do it with their eyes closed, honey, because they know you are all of that and a bag of chips. So they don't have a problem, honey. And they going to, hey, you want lunch? They'll bring you lunch too, because they love you and they just want you to be happy, because you make them happy. You make each other happy. So you're okay. But if you're staying in a dysfunctional relationship and he won't even bring you a bag of potato chips, we have a problem. He is not even thinking about you. You can't even get him. You have your sandwich and you asking him, can he just run you by a bag of potato chips on his break? And he makes 10 reasons for why he can't do it. That's a problem.
That's the test. That has to be the just us girls test. So if you're dating a guy, lady, and you want to know if he really loves you, start putting some tests out there. Ask him, listen, I'm so busy. Can you just please pick up some lunch for me and bring it here? I mean, ask him some inconvenient stuff. And it's nighttime. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I don't want to leave my house. Like, give him some ink and see what happens. See what his response is to you. I mean, if he's so busy, right now, he could order you Uber Eats. Listen, he could, you know what I'm saying? He could call a delivery person. If he's that busy, he's like, listen, I can't leave, but it's on its way. I just placed the order. Put him to the test. I love it. Amen. I love it.
I don't like when you guys have me laughing like this. I love that. Put him to the test. I'm serious, because sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to do that where you're really testing the waters there, you know? And it's not that, you know, and sometimes you know that they do love you. Sometimes you know that you feel like you do it. But sometimes it's like, you know what? Let me just check this out. You see how far they will go for you, or what they will do for you. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that at all. Ladies, come on. Come on. You got this. We're not telling you to rule the world. You don't rule the world. We're just talking about things that's genuine, things that, you know, that will, because guess what happens? No, hear this. Listen to the truth in this. Say, for instance, now you're pregnant. You're married. You're pregnant. How would you know that at 2 o'clock in the morning, you have a craving for some kind of weird stuff? What is he going to say? Oh, honey, could you get me this? Oh, I gotta get up early in the morning to go to, and he started making all these excuses. Now you having this craving about you. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of like a crazy, you know, example, but then think about it. You have that craving at about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're asking him to get you something, and he's gonna turn around on the other side of the on the other side of his bed, say, "Oh, you know, I got like 2 more hours. I got to get up at 5." Bro, listen, get up. Get up. There are places that open 24 hours. And like Colette said, there are Uber Eats out there. Order something. Have it come to the house and do me a favor. Wait until it comes and give it to her and then you go back to sleep. You know?
Can I give some clarification? Because someone may listen and go, oh, you ladies are just being petty. Like, this is small stuff. And so we recognize that a guy is not always able to drop everything and show up, right? But the part that we're talking about is, does he consider you? That is a key thing. If you can't say, because when you ask him these questions and you're listening for his response, because you need to get a feel for it, just like Jonelle said, right? What's going to happen in the future, right? When you're the weak one, is he going to be strong? Is he going to do things? Is he mind? What you're figuring out is, does he mind going out of his way for you? Is he attentive to your needs? Just like he wants you to be attentive to your needs. I guarantee you, if he's always talking to you about, oh my gosh, I just love when you cook chicken. I mean, he's throwing hits, right? Right? If he's like, I just love when you cook chicken. Every time you cook that chicken, you love him. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You going to cook him that chicken. And if you tell him, oh my goodness, honey, I just love when you buy me flowers. Oh, remember those flowers? You just, what are he gonna do? If he considers you, the next time he's gonna run, oh, let me go get him some flowers. And he's gonna show up, because that's part of him showing. It's these acts, these small things show that he loves you. Granted, maybe he doesn't have all the money in the world, but he could show enough afford a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Whatever you drink, I don't know, a soda, something. He know your favorite bag of chips. I don't know, but there's something, right? Bag of chips now got expensive. It's $1 now. You know, I remember we used to be 25 cents. It went to 50 cents, and now a big bag is $1. But he got $1 in his pocket where he could get you some Frito-Lays, and he could say, honey, I know you love these Frito-Lays. Here's these chips.
Okay, you guys are cracking up, but it is so true. It is so true. We're talking right. You're talking right. You're talking about testing the waters. You're talking about the consideration. You're talking about all these things, and all of these things do matter, because you are valued and you are loved. You ought to, you're showing love. And, I love the way, Colette said that, right? It's like, you're cooking. Of course, if you're dating and, you're courting or whatever the case may be, before you get married, you cook a meal or whatever the case is, because he's going to want to know if you can cook. He is going to want to know if girlie can cook. Okay? And then you're throwing, you can throw down in that kitchen. You know that you can put some dirty socks in that food, and you can really stir that thing, and you know that you can bake, and you know that you can really throw it down. When you're finished cooking, he'll be licking his fingers. Oh my gosh, this was so good. And you're going to have a good time. And he has dirty socks.
I don't know about the dirty socks, but
yeah, some people say, oh, you put your foot in it or something. That's what I'm talking about. Okay?
You stepped in that. They say, well, you stepped in that. We grew up with that. They say, oh, honey, you put your foot in that. You stepped in
your whole foot.
Your foot.
It took me back for a minute.
We went way back. So what happens, in essence, what happened is that you know that you can cook. You know that you can do these things, right?
Yes.
What happened? You're doing these things we're not telling you to do wifely duties. No, we're not saying that to you. We're not saying, you go and you cook and you wash his clothes and all that stuff. No, but you're going to cook him a meal. It's his birthday. Let's just say it's his birthday. Or it's Christmas. You invite him over for dinner or Thanksgiving. You invite him over to dinner, and then this is what you're doing. You're the one who did the cooking. And he was like, oh my gosh, this girl can cook. Now, if you go around now and telling everybody that this girl can cook, and she said, oh my gosh, I love those yellow roses, or love carnation flowers, or whatever. Be sensitive to what it is she's saying to you. Be attentive to what it is that she's saying to you. You pick up on that and you move accordingly. Listen, how about getting some, LaWanda, I know that Kevin usually bring you some flowers. Girl, I usually see them things. Woo, I love that. What happens?
People don't realize this. Darnell, it's so funny. I tell people, let me tell you something. There, from the day that we started dating, every week I receive flowers. Until today, I have not received the same flowers twice. When I tell you, I take pictures of I have not received the same one twice. And wow. It's so amazing. Like, he's not good. If he doesn't have the flowers, there's a problem. You know, he's like, no. You know, I have to get your flowers. Because he realized that I love flowers. So that it's big. You know what I'm saying? Funny you would say that, Darnell, because I remember the day he brought me this arrangement and it was all blue flowers. They were blue, such a pretty blue. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it's so funny, did something a little different. Say, okay, I'm gonna change. But it was so funny because they have not been the same. But it's so funny how he would go in a solid color and just said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So it's just so funny how that just took me back and I started laughing. I'm like, wow. So consistency. Yeah, definitely.
Talk about that consistency.
That, right?
Talk about that consistency. Yes.
Nothing wrong with consistency. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on, because that's why we're here today. Like, you know, like Darnell said, we're empowering you to a better life. We want you to have a better life because you deserve it. You are phenomenal. You deserve that. And the minute that you start realizing that you deserve it, let me tell you something, other people are going to start treating you like that because you realize who you are and you realize your value and you realize that you are important. You do matter. And when you realize that, other people will start treating you like that. And then what happens is you'll start attracting a different type of person. You'll start attracting something that sees, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can't even play that on her. Because let me tell you something, she smelt it a mile away. So I can't even come and throw game on her. You know what I'm saying? So when you get that, it's good, you know, because you want somebody to realize that they can't get over on you. You know, and it's sad because so many times we stay in these dysfunctional relationships because we just think that that's all we can do. We feel like that there's just nothing better. But how will you ever know if you don't get out there? Like I always say, how do you know you can swim unless you jump into the water? Been there, did it, jumped into the water, cannot swim. They had to come get me. So I can tell you this much. I cannot swim. Okay, so I know I done jumped into the water, okay? So, been there, did it, done it, okay? So, it just shows you that. You don't know unless you try it, right? You won't know, right?
You know, I love that. I love that because consistency is very important. You know, consistency is what you're going to, because you want someone that is going to stay the course. You want someone that is going to say, you know what, you know, Colette is a beautiful young lady, and you know, I know she likes this, so I'm going to do this for her. I'm going to, you know, this is how she treats me. She treats me, you know, with respect.
It's no use working 9 to 5.